Well, here's kind of what I'm doing with the stools here. This is my grandma's old music stool on the right. It was the same finish as the one on the left. The legs were dangling off it, so I did my typical freaking distress thing to it. I'm not done. I still have to clear coat it. And so they go from that to that. I'm also doing some picture frames and some other stuff. And then it all started with these tables here a long time ago. My girlfriend at the time was doing her nails on my coffee table. Mind you, these are Ansel Adams. I didn't pay for them, and I'm not like a snooty snob, but somebody paid over $3,000 for the coffee table, this table, and the other side table with a drawer on it, and they were gorgeous. So anyway, long story short, I distressed them. So yeah, then I just kind of got into distressing everything, you know. Let's see. Then I did this table, but this table is it's a little too solid in color. I did the bench later, and I did the bench in a hurry, and I was like, oh, this isn't turning out as good as the table, but you know what? Sickness. So yeah, I have frames that are like this, and you know, things to match throughout the house. And then I did these stools as well. I used bicycle chains, hammers, knives, freaking you name it. I beat the crap out of all this furniture and stuff. So anyway, these go with the table. These I had in my apartment. I had a counter, and then that was the table. You know, my dining room table and all that. And then I had this mirror, but I didn't have the heart to distress this mirror. This is off of my parents' dresser from way back in the 70s. It's just stained with an ebony stain that I leave on right on. You know, and then these frames I did with with acrylic. They're kind of a faux distressed. Did this one. I did all the paintings too. Not that they're super great or anything, but you know, whatever. I like them. Especially this guy, huh? Is that the one that touches you when you're in the shower? Oh, this one freaks people out too. You know. And one painting of another art piece I did. This is my fictitious business logo. This is my logo though. This is the face of Dark Artworks. See. Can't focus because my left hand's on my arm. My left hand's on my left arm. Anyway. Yeah. So that's what I'm up to. I'm distressing things. Waiting for a call from some people to make an appointment to go do some things. And, while all this is going on, I'm also printing out. I broke this a while ago, so this right here, I got a little overzealous tightening the bracket, so it cracked. So I printed it a little tougher. Yeah, I love that. 3D printers are so neat. I don't know what took the world so long. I mean, I have a pile of things that I printed for cameras and stuff. This one's neat. My little mini slider, my little mini rig. It's, you know, obviously they were meaning for it to be like a small shoulder rig, but I'm gonna take those off it, and I'm actually gonna have a smaller matte box on this that I'm just gonna use for the flags. And then that one actually, this one's really sick actually. It's got a key, but a key, not a key, but a key. And then it has frames for the filters too. So, you know, I can print out a bunch of these and have different filters. It takes the 4 and the 4.5 or whatever the size increments are. And then it has some spots right here. I'm going to put some threaded nutserts in. And I believe that they're the distance that the flags, like for the hardware for the flags that have the bar that go across with the things that screw in. I believe that it's like a standard size for the French flags. So anyway, those should bolt right in. And then I have this other style kicking it over here, starting up. And this one is just not gonna, you know, be a filter style one at all. It's just gonna be, you know, I'm just gonna use it just for, you know, a shade basically. You know, I'm having a freaking brain fart right now, a shade. Whatever. You know, yeah, it's just going to be a glorified hood, you know what I mean? But I really like how they look. I think they're just neat looking. I think, for me, part of the whole freaking, you know, camera, having a neat camera is all the stuff that you can put on it too. I like having it look all elaborate and extravagant and stuff, you know. I've got my little arms on this camera and with my light, even though it's in the middle of the day, and you know, I got the Deity microphone, even though I don't really need one, you know, not for what I'm doing, but you know, I wanted it, you know. But this printer's neat. I love this thing. I did the 32. It's got the 32-bit tree people, whatever, I forget. It's been so long, but it's got the tree. Freaking, I put that motherboard in it, you know, and then obviously I updated the software on it, you know, the firmware, all that. I changed out the soft springs for some harder ones, you know, and then I put the larger knobs on it. I have the dual gear drive extruder. What else did I do to it? Some other stuff. I just printed some hokey little things on it. This thing always falls off, but it's one of the first things I printed, so I just leave it on there. It does its job. This is the filament I use. This is the best stuff I've found so far. It just prints super freaking good. It's hecka reliable. It's consistent. Is the Overture PLA Pro. Is freaking phenomenal stuff. They just started putting it in these cardboard things. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Yeah. So that's my little printer thing. This is a little random video. I doubt I'll upload it, but maybe I will. My little I have a green screen set up, dude. I have these soft light, these cheesy chintzy ones, but they do the job. I have 2 of these, and then I have the umbrella lights. I have so much stuff to do. I could, you know, do all kinds of freaking cool production stuff. And I have it too. I don't really take the time to do it. I probably should. Ping dong. There's ping dong. Ping boy. Yeah, the house is a mess. I have tape around and stuff like that because I'm, you know, painting and all that too. I have like 9 million projects going on at once. I start something and then I start something else and I start something else, and you know, I'm overwhelmed with things that need to be done, but it's alright. It keeps me busy, you know, gives me stuff to do. Even this little guy's got printed stuff on it. This handle's neat. I love this camera. It's so easy to use. People clown little bridge cameras, but you know what? It's nice, you know. It's nice. It's, you know, it's only 1080p, but you know what? So's this. And I'm on an 80D. I think it's 1080p. This doesn't have 4K, does it? No, it doesn't. I don't think it's Y2K. They might come out with a firmware update for it someday, but I doubt it. This I think is old. I don't know how old this camera is, but I got it for $500. My friend hella hooked me up with it, with the 50mm lens and a nice backpack, and she has a Manfrotto. I was gonna say scaffold tripod for me too. If she ever gets around to going to her storage, she's a busy little bee. But yeah, I like it. It has this cool little squishy on it. It's nice. I like it, but it's quick. I got some pretty decent pictures of birds with it. You know, I mean, it's you know, it doesn't do as much stuff as this one, I'm sure, but you know, for what I'm doing, I honestly, the camera in my hand is too much camera for me. I mean, I don't really need it all, but it's a fun hobby. It's fun to, you know, to use it and to learn new things is always cool. You know, I take pride in you know how many different skills that I have. You know, there's one thing that I enjoy is learning new things, and photography is definitely fun. I used to kind of clown it, and video. I'm more into video than photography, but I used to clown people that did this stuff. I'm like, man, that's not really art. You know, you want to do art, you got to go out and make something. You got to build a car, weld a sculpture, or paint something. But you know, there's a lot that goes into this. You know, I always just figured it seemed more like, from outside looking in, it seemed more like a job. You know, because you're editing and all that stuff. But it's fun because when you're done, you have your masterpiece. You know, so that's cool. Yeah, I got this backpack with it. That's pretty neat. I don't know how to set it up really though. It's like I go to set it up and it seems like I have too many things for it, or not enough things, or whatever, however it works. That's Ping Daddy again. Oh, it's for medicinal purposes only, I swear. Yeah, and then I bought this lens. I think at Mike's camera, it was only, I think I paid $29 for that. Yeah, it was like $29, and I think I paid $75 for the lenses that I'm using right now, which is just, it's the 18 to 155, I think. 18 to 135, you know, the silent motor creeper or whatever. I guess it's a kit lens, whatever, I don't care, I like it. The 50's neat. It does the bokeh and all that stuff. It's cool, but you can get bokeh with this one just fine too. You know, you just gotta zoom in a little bit. You know, you just have to change your stance and, you know, just get creative with it. But this lens is cool. I should, you know, probably do more with this, but this seems a little more versatile for me, and I'm more into, I don't know, I'm not, you know, consistent enough to where obviously, I mean, I have a hard time keeping the same distance from things and, you know, realizing where I need to be at to keep things in focus with the lens like that. And I'm obviously slow at it. I should probably print myself a follow focuser, a follow focus knob and all that, seeing as how I pretty much have all the stuff to bolt it to. Got the Edelkrone. This thing is a piece of junk. Don't buy the ZDO one of these, man. I was like, oh, that'll be cool. You know, I actually got it just to use this part with it, but this hinge on here, it just freaking moves all the time. It barely holds a camera. All the pieces that came with it were junky. Just poop. Total poop. Sniff a turd poop. And then this, this is a decent head. I mean, for, you know, but the tripod freaking fell apart. I was like, what in the freaking world? You know, it's just a sun pack, but it's not total garbage. It wasn't total garbage. The head's nice though, you know. Whatever. I mean, they all screw to things, but whatever. The Manfrotto one that my friend has for me is neat. It has just a little circle front under the camera, which is one issue I have with that other camera. Handles that match the other handles. Ah, these ones go on the side though. They were on another rig that I have, and I have big C Thanos. But what was I just squawking about? Oh, I don't remember. Something about this camera. But anyway, it's been fun, guys. Oh, what else was I gonna say? Don't buy the CO2 pellet version of the Sig Sauer. It freaking leaks, man, and I fixed it, and I fixed it, and I fixed it, and it'll work, and then it won't, and then it freaking leaks again, and it just gets expensive with the cartridges. It's super fun to shoot this freaking thing, though. It's so fun. I mean, it's got a nice, it's got like the perfect amount of freaking recoil, dude. It's nice and it's peppy, you know. It's snaptacular. This thing, this thing's got way more power, but it's not as fun to shoot. It's just, you know, it's plastic and stuff. This thing is freaking dope, dude. I love this thing. It weighs like 2.5 pounds. But yeah, I have the light and stuff. And my cat loves it. Every time I pull these out, see how she came over. She just loves this. Well, I mean, all cats love laser pointers, but it's funny. Somebody will come to freaking kill me, you know, and she's gonna see the gun and she's gonna run up to him and want to play. She's gonna be like, "Where's your red dot? Where's your red dot?" They're gonna just shoot her. Poor kitty. I'm teaching her all the wrong stuff. Like I'll be like trying to fix a leak on the other gun, you know, and I'll like go to, you know, clear it out or whatever. Or I'll be playing with the slide or, you know, doing something to it, and she'll hear it clicking and she'll come running up. It's heck of funny. But yeah, freaking, I paid like 200 and something bucks for this. I know you can get them for a lot cheaper, but I was at Big 5. It was on a whim, and it was just looked sick. I played and fondled with all the other ones, but this one's really made by Sig Sauer. You know, I probably should have got the Glock one, but they were made by Umarex, and I figured, well, Sig Sauer is going to make a better Sig Sauer than Umarex is going to make up a Glock, but, you know, guess not. But this one shot a little better, and all the other ones too that I was interested in that were runners up, but they were all just BBs, and I just prefer pellets. You know, I don't know. I love this thing. This should probably be a whole entire different video, and I'm setting a camera on a couch, but it's just so sick, dude. I mean, it's totally field strippable. It's just freaking stupid. Boom! You know? Ding, ding, ding. It's like, I'll bet you, dude, I'm so serious though, I've looked at pictures and the pins look like they line up, everything's the same. I'll bet you the freaking frame is the same, you know? I'll bet you could pop these, all these guts out, and you might have to maybe do a little bit of work inside the mag well, you know, in the handle for the mag. But I don't know, I'm not so sure. I think you could probably just freaking buy a new upper and new guts for it and go with it and use the frame. But Sig Sauer's backwards from all the other pistol manufacturers, and they're smarter about it though. You actually register the firing assembly in a Sig Sauer, to whereas a Glock you register the frame, you know, which is funny. Not that I would think about printing one or anything. I would never do that. That's just totally ridiculous. I don't have a bunch of files to print 6 hours thinking I could buy guts on eBay for them or blocks or anything like that. But no, they're really neat though. It's super fun. I actually have it because I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a non-lethal way to scare the shit out of somebody if they try and freaking, you know, rob me or to invade my home out here. I'm out in the middle of nowhere by myself, and you know, the neighbors around here are far enough to where anything could go down and, you know, nobody would know. And a lot of people out here, you know, I mean, they shoot their guns and stuff. So people would hear guns, you know, I'd be getting freaking murdered, and they would just think the neighbors were out shooting, you know, for fun. So, you know, I just need something, you know. I don't need a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world. But I actually got this case for my layout tools and stuff, you know. I got a precise measuring type device thingy majiggles and stuff, you know. All my nice squares and all that crap, but ended up with so many of them, this is just kind of pointless, so now it just holds my little pellet toys. But yeah, you know, honestly, I probably saying everything I just said, and you know, think about it, I'm probably just gonna go end up getting a freaking nice little shotty. I'll just, you know, a little 12 gauge or something. I'll just keep bird shotting it, you know. But the other thing is too, you know, all people are like, man, you should have a real gun to freaking defend yourself in your house. And it's like, even if I did, I wouldn't want a 9 or a 45 cal or anything like that, you know, or a 380 or whatever, dude. I would want, or a 357 even. I don't need to kill my animals or shoot out my whole freaking walls or shoot the freaking natural gas tank or, you know, and blow up my house or shoot my freaking car through the wall, you know, to the outside, you know. You really only need a 22 or a pellet gun. I mean, it's going to do plenty of damage. It's going to stop somebody. It's going to freaking at least make them, you know, freaking, it's going to stun them to where, you know, you can, you know, run up and do what you got to do to make them stop, you know what I mean, or detain them or whatever, dude, you know. I'll freaking shoot somebody 15, 20 times in the face with freaking pellets, dude, flying at them, dude, from freaking 10 feet. They're gonna pause for a good moment or two, and that's gonna give me plenty of time to freaking, you know, drop the dime on them, you know, or run. But there's really nowhere to go out here. There's really nowhere to go because there's everywhere to go, but there's nothing, if that makes sense. Speaking of nothing and everywhere and nowhere to go, look at my lake. I have my own lake. I share it with all these people. But, what do you know about ISO being at 3200 right now? What do you know about that? What do you know about it's not going down fast enough? Here we go. Pygmies. Okay, so focus. I'm like saying it like it's the camera's problem.